Welcome to Graybo's Giblets. We are Gray Burnett, Ryan Fitz, and Duke Dotson. And we own a sports card shop called Graybo Sports Cards and a sports bar called Parlay in Richmond, Virginia. We know you don't have 40 hours per week to pour over podcasts and spreadsheets, but you want to get in on the action, so we do the work for you. We bring you 30-minute giblets each week so you can feel good heading up to the window and into the weekend. We are the crossroads of sports lovers, fantasy heads, sports betting, and sports cards. We're out here dropping giblets for the people, and we are here with our college football show. It is week 2, but this is our first week talking about bets, talking about the season. I have Duke Dotson here next to me. Always have Duke, Denny one time, but welcome back, Ryan Fitz, for season 3.
Woo. Hey, it's great to be here. Thanks so much for having me.
Yeah, well, it's like having a guest again.
It is. It's special.
It's special. It's special. So let's kind of recap a little bit about week 0 and week 1. Great start to the college football season. A lot of chaos. Going back to week 0, I guess the only really big game was Kansas State, Iowa State. Iowa State gets the big win, 24-21. There were some headlines for that game. One being that I took Iowa State preseason 12-1 to win the Big 12. Great start. But Avery Johnson, the quarterback, his family, get this, dad fought his brother after the game, and it goes viral. Tough scene. Not only did you lose the game, you now have to talk about that, your family fighting each other after the game, and then you almost lose to North Dakota.
It reminds me of a time I lived in Fredericksburg, Virginia, and I was at B-Dubs in the first open. That's when B-Dubs was like flexing on people, right? It was big. I went for like an afternoon beer it was like a Tuesday or Wednesday at like 4 p.m. Maybe 7 people in the whole place. And I'm sitting there, and all of a sudden I get something wet hits me in the back of the head. And I look over, and a guy's laying on his back. And so his friend has knocked him out of his bar stool, and his beers hit me in the head. That's what's happened. And I get up, and I'm like just assessing what's going on. And the friend that got knocked down picks up a bar stool and is going to hit his friend with the bar stool. And then his friend takes his pint glass and he throws it across the room, misses me, I duck, it shatters against the wall. And that was like the 7th time in a row that I'd been at a bar in Fredericksburg and a fight broke out. And this one was like 2 people that came together on a afternoon beer. And so I'm not sure if they're related like this story, but that's when I looked at my friend and I said, I got to move out of Fredericksburg. And so that's why I live in Richmond.
And with that, Tech has a big game this weekend against Diego Pavia. And in the news from last week, his 2 brothers got arrested at the game. What's going on?
The Pavios are a wild bunch.
Duke, I thought you were going to say you fought your dad at Buffalo Wild Wings, but it's usually you getting your dad out of fights.
Correct. I knew I've never could beat my dad in a fight ever, even when he got older, so I wouldn't even try that. I know when my bread is buttered there.
That story of your dad in Morgantown for another day.
That is a great tale.
So let's get into last week and kind of recap. I'm a big Virginia fan. Fitz and Denny are big Virginia Tech fans. Virginia, solid win. We might finally have a quarterback, the North Texas transfer, Jalen Morris. He did get banged up a little bit, so I hope he's okay because they go into NC State this weekend. So that would be a true test. I think NC State is a little weaker this year, but on the road in the ACC, let's see what Virginia can do. I'll go to Denny and Fitz for the Tech recap. Let's kind of go over that game. South Carolina, really good game. Started off strong for the defense. I thought the defense played well. You always have a good kicker. I'm going to tell you one thing is Tech doesn't have a quarterback. Drone stinks. Speak me off. Talk to me about how he can help you this year.
All right, so here's my recap of the game. Tech's defense, they gave up the first drive. They gave up the long play, and then there was a punt return. Outside of that, the defense looked great. They held them to 3 points outside of those 3 things I just mentioned. I give the defense a 7 or 8 out of 10. I think they're playing a good SEC opponent, top 13 in the team. So I give that defense in the ACC, I think, is going to hold up decent. I think a lot of it has to do with the new coordinator, so we'll take that. Tech's running game, I'll give them maybe a 7 out of 10 as well. They didn't move the ball that well all day, never got in the end zone, but they hit their times. They picked up 7, 8, 9 yards, gashed them a little bit. The receivers actually looked pretty. Some of these receivers were returning. Some are new. They made some big catches on fades, like in traffic. I give them receivers probably the best grade of the game, maybe an 8 or a 9. And then, yeah, I give Drones a 5 or a 6 out of 10. Drones, I think it's an easy narrative that Drones is terrible. That's an easy narrative, and maybe it's partially true. I think he helps you with your feet and get some tough first downs. He'll lower his shoulder. He made some bad throws, especially on the last drive, and he had the interception in the end zone, which is probably inexcusable. A, you don't throw that ball. B, the other guy was open. I think it's a bad decision. C, just throw it out of bounds and kick the field goal. So that's my assessment. I honestly took away more good than bad. The caliber of the athletes on the defense, a lot of the new transfers, and how they fit together pretty well so far. Like really, they're all transfers. Like 3 returners, they're all transfers. So I think that's a sign of the D coordinator being better than previous years. And I saw enough on offense where I think, again, in the ACC, I think we could do some things. Again, I think a good season for Tech is 7 wins. 8 wins is great. So 7 will be fantastic. Fitz, how do you feel about it?
Yeah, no, I was kind of in and out of this game, but from what I saw, I thought the Hokies did fine. Obviously, it was those 2 big plays, right? So Shane Beamer being the special teams guy, like his dad, declining the penalty, accepting the penalty, whatever he did, and made him kick again. They took it 80 yards, and then I felt like it was the next drive. They hit the long 75-yard.
It was, yeah.
Big play. So outside of those 2, which, is part of the game, but I thought they hung in there.
Yeah.
I'm watching this recap of Miami Notre Dame. Is that Michael Irvin on the field?
It is. He was wild on the sideline. They said, I saw a meme today. It said, how great is it that Miami's new mascot is a coked-up Michael Irvin on the sideline? He was wild all game.
Sorry, I said I wouldn't laugh this podcast. I had to laugh at that.
Well, at least you waited until I said the thing, and so the crowd, the audience could hear the joke. Yeah.
There you go. So big game for Tech this weekend. They have Vanderbilt at home. Lost last year. What's the spread, and what's your take on this game this
Tech's
weekend?
like favored by like a 1.5, maybe, something like that.
Lane Stadium effect.
So, oh man, I'm the biggest Diego Pavia fan. I think my college football allegiances are first to Tech, and second might be Diego Pavia. So, and third might be Shane Beamer. So it's a lot of emotions going through these first 2 weeks. I don't know. Pavia's tough. I think Tech at home, making some progress from last week. Maybe they get it done, but it's a tough one. Preseason, I picked Vanderbilt to beat us, but after watching us last week, I'm cautiously optimistic. I don't know, Fitz, what are your thoughts on the Commodores?
Is it a night game?
It's 7 o'clock. 7 o'clock.
Look that up for us.
Yeah, give me the.
Hokies at night.
Hokies at home at night.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
In a pick 'em, yeah.
I told y'all this. My first bet of the whole college football season was Tech plus 8.5. I thought South Carolina was a little overrated coming in. I think Sellers is okay,
Yeah, he didn't impress me that
but
much.
everyone's like he's a Heisman guy and like top 5, top 2 maybe.
All the
And-
quarterbacks didn't look
in
good.
the mock drafts, except my boy Nussmeier.
Yeah, he looked all right.
Nussmeier looked great.
He's my guy. We'll talk about him in a little bit.
Ole Miss guy looked great.
So, but I think Tech should have covered that game. The 2 explosives, like they had a 64-yard touchdown reception to the All-American track star, and then the punt return. Does Tech head coach make it through the year?
I think what I told Jack Fitzpatrick on the radio was 6 wins or less, he's gone. 7, maybe 8 or more, he's safe. So I think it's. I mean, I think he needs to show some progress.
Would Shane come to Tech? Could they try to get him?
I used to think that maybe he would. In that SEC Netflix show, one of the first things Shane says is, if I go to Tech, I'm just Frank's son. I'm here. I'm my own guy. And if that's in his head, then maybe not. Maybe
Interesting.
Maybe he likes it better. It'd be an easier job at Tech than the 5th best team in the SEC.
Yeah. And I actually I'm not a big Tech guy, but I do like Shane Bieber. I do. I said Beamer.
Get your mind out of the gutter.
What a weekend. 4 top teams go down. Now, granted, they played other top 10 teams. That's just how the season's going to be. Like, who is going to last and be in this top 12 by the end of the year? So let's kind of recap it. The first one was the big game, number 1 Texas against number 3 Ohio State. And to be honest, I thought both teams were a bit sluggish, in my opinion. Yes, Ohio State's defense was pretty good. The freshman quarterback did what he had to. I just don't think he can get them to a national championship, but I could be wrong. Arch Manning, on the other hand, was piss poor. I'm not going to write him off yet, but the memes were pretty funny. It was like Arch Manning's Heisman campaign, and they had like a tombstone with week 1 and already dead. So give me your thoughts on that game and Arch Manning. I will say this. I think Texas's defense is one of the best in the country. I will say that to keep them in that game. Give me your stance on this game. Ohio State, great win. A win is a win. Texas, not riding off Arch Manning just yet, but it wasn't good. It wasn't great.
Yeah, I mean, I was driving to the D.C. Zoo, so I listened on the radio and obviously watched the highlights. So I didn't get to see it, the whole game start to finish. From my takeaways, yeah, both defenses look great. I mean, end of the day, Texas lost by 7, and they had multiple red zone chances that they blew. 4th down, they didn't get it. They, one pick, I believe, by Arch, and the offenses just weren't as advanced as the defenses at this point in the season. That's one of the knocks of having these great week 1 games, is defenses usually come to camp a little more prepared than offenses. Offenses take more time to sync up. So I'm not writing off Texas for the playoffs. I still think with that defense, and if Arch gets better, I think they can still go 11-1, 10-2. So I'm not writing them off. Good win. Hats off to the Buckeyes. I'm still not putting them as a shoe-in to win the their conference. I think I still want to see more out of them. But overall, great win for Ohio State.
Yeah, I mean, I just think Texas, what they did. I mean, I think Ohio State has 2 of the best receivers in the country.
Yeah.
Jeremiah Smith had like 6 receptions for 40 yards. They shut him down once again. That Muhammad kid for Texas is unbelievable. And then Carnell Tate had some awesome catches. He caught a big one for a score. I just think Texas' defense is going to keep them in a lot of games. And if Arch Manning can actually complete some passes and make some good throws, I think they'll be fine. He just needs to, settle down a little bit.
If you look at just the stat sheet, not the scoreboard, Texas maybe have won the game on the stat sheet. Ohio State only had like 126 yards offense. Miami beat them. I keep saying Miami, so I'm watching Miami. Texas beat them in a lot of key metrics. So they play the game 10 times. I think Texas might win it 6 times, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I think Texas was the bet. Like, if you bet Texas, don't feel bad. Like, that was the right play. Looking at the stats, look at the game. Fitz, did you get a chance to watch it, or are you playing T-ball with your son?
I was a little in and out of that game too, but I'm not as down on Arch Manning as everyone else.
I agree.
His first collegiate start is in the horseshoe against the
shoe.
defending national champions. They lost 14-7. If they score on that 4th down and they win the game, then no one cares, and Arch Manning is God, right? So I think it adds value to Texas's future line. They're now 7-1 to win the college football championship. I think that could be a play.
It's a great point to look at overreactions from week 1 for betting this week in season-long futures. It's a great opportunity to look for bounce backs from Texas, Alabama, et cetera.
And that's a great leadway into Alabama. Alabama comes in number 8 in the country. Florida State has a chip on their shoulder from last year, only winning 2 games. Castellanos, the transfer from Boston College, comes in talking all that shit, and he backs it up, they roll in there, and from start to finish, in the trenches, quarterback play, defense, Florida State just dominated Bama, in my opinion. Win the game 31-17. We'll talk about it here in a little bit, but now it's kind of like I kind of want to buy a little bit on the dip on Alabama. I still think they're fine. I think it's overreaction. They're now number 21 in the country. They go from 8 to 21. Florida State, they're coming in well prepared, right? They're coming in well prepared for Alabama. I think it was a bad spot for Bama, and I think Bama will get it together. The thing that I think Alabama is most fragile is their secondary is really, really bad and lost right now, and they need to figure that out. They're missing tackles. They're missing assignments. The biggest play of that game, I don't know if you watched that game, and I forget the kid's name, makes a great play. This is when they scored to make it 24-17, and they have all the momentum, and the kid makes a great stop and then taunts the kid, and Florida State gets a first down. Do you think that would ever happen under Nick Saban? That kid would be sitting for 2 weeks. So, there's some I think some coaching issues as well, but I like Bama. I think I'm going to buy the dip. Let me get your thoughts on this game, Denny.
Yeah, most surprising game of the weekend by far, on both sides. Like Alabama, like earlier I said Texas won the game on paper. Alabama did not. Alabama got beaten in every aspect of the game. I think they led the nation in missed tackles on Saturday. So a lot to correct. I'm with you, though. I'm looking more to buy the dip than I am to write off Alabama right now. But, again, only 1 week, so let's just see what happens after this.
I think it was up 14 missed tackles.
Yeah.
14.
That's a lot.
And a lot of that could be on coaching. I heard a podcast, I think it was Stuckey, was talking about, did they even suit up in pads and hit each other in camp?
Yeah, I would love to know that, because there's obviously been a trend over the last decade of hitting less in camp, hitting less in practice. There's obviously a fine line you got to walk there. You don't want to get your players hurt, but they need some real experience, like actually, making football plays.
Fitz, did you get a chance to watch that game?
Yeah, a little bit of it. You just keep seeing the clips of all like the low effort from Bama. So, those kids are having just the absolute worst week of practice.
I hope so, yeah.
I expect them to bounce back, but that was pretty pitiful.
Yeah, and then the other games obviously are LSU going into Death Valley against Clemson and beating them 17-10. Clemson scored 10 points at home against LSU. LSU is probably the biggest surprise for me, as like, this team might win a national championship. Just the way they played. The defense was great. They, I think, have the best quarterback in the country, in my opinion. Well, he had the best week. The biggest name that had the best week, right? Yeah. Against a really good – everyone's talking about this defensive line for Clemson, and LSU's offensive line stood the test against them, and a huge win, unfortunately, for Brian. I'm not a big Brian Kelly fan, but a huge win for LSU. Thoughts on that game? Great game, back and forth.
I watched every play of that game, and Nussmeier really impressed me. Just accuracy and poise, like in big moments. Like he was threading the needle a lot of times. Didn't have a lot of space to put it in, and he gets my vote of the week for the best quarterback performance in a big game, or amongst the big guys. So. LSU, I was a little excited about them preseason. We talked about it on the pod a little bit. I put them in the playoff possibly, and so far, everything I'm reading, all the chatter, podcasts, and whatnot, people seem to be the most impressed, like with LSU and Auburn as far as Week 1 performances in the SEC. So, hopefully, good things to come. We'll see.
Yeah, I had LSU in my semifinals. Let's go. Feel good about that. Feel good. Fitz, what are your thoughts on the ACC? Got a huge win with Florida State. Everyone's like, the ACC's back, and then Clemson doesn't get the big win that they need. Dabo.
Yeah.
Dabo, not good in opening games.
Yeah, it's kind of flipped the script there with Brian Kelly had to have that win, right? Like, he always loses it, but now, like, Dabo has kind of turned into that.
To not get blown out by an SEC.
Like, finally didn't play Georgia, and then they still couldn't knock. Yeah, Miami, though, holding it down for the ACC. So not a terrible week, but yeah, I was impressed with LSU, especially that defense. And Nussmeier looked really good, but yeah, Clemson, they're still absolutely loaded. Yeah. Roster-wise, so I think they'll be just fine.
Clemson was my best bet of the whole year. I said lock winning the ACC.
Yeah, I still think that.
So I think their defense is unreal. I'm a little Klubnik was a little scary. I think he might be a little. I mean, he's the mock draft #1 pick. I'm seeing so I'm like, he did not play well. A lot of overrated talk. That offense doesn't need to get going, but I think as soon as they get in the ACC play, they'll be all right. As Duke is looking at, what are you looking at? Tennis?
I'm trying to get another round.
Trying to get another round? You got half your drink left.
It'll be gone.
My computer's about to die, so I'm going to have to use yours.
It's fine.
This is a great podcast.
We're prepared. We're the experts.
And the last game, let's bring it back to another ACC team with a huge win. Miami, as we're watching the replay right now at the bar here, against Notre Dame. It was number 10 versus number 6. Notre Dame reaches the national championship last year, bringing a lot of guys back on defense. One of the best defenses in the country. New quarterback, though. I don't think he played that bad. But Carson Beck is the real story here. Everyone talking about how bad he was at Georgia, comes in and gets the job done. To beat Notre Dame. I actually hate to say this, but I fall asleep really early and couldn't stay up to watch this whole game. So I rely on Denny one time and Fitz to kind of take me. As I'm watching the end of this, it's pretty cool because I have not seen this yet.
Yeah.
You guys can kind of talk me through this game.
All right, so Miami jumps out. Notre Dame comes back. Miami gets up 2 touchdowns in the second half. Notre Dame fights back.
Just saw
ties it
that.
up, right? And then I thought Cristobal'd himself because he got to like 47-yard field goal range and then shut it down, got ultra conservative. And that kicker, like, is not the best kicker. Like, he's only got one game-winning kick ever, and he missed it. And credit to him, he nailed the 47-yarder. And so I thought Cristobal was way too conservative there. I think Notre Dame just ran out of time. I think they just kept playing, Notre Dame was going to come back and win. So I still think the bet was Notre Dame. But I was impressed with Miami. Both sides of the ball. Carson Beck, I think they played really well. It was a great win for them.
I think talking about that Miami kicker, I did see the one that got blocked. I mean, it was a horrible snap, bad hold, and got blocked. But before that, it said career. The kicker was 4 for 11.
Yeah. Yeah.
And he kicked a 40.
I think he transferred from somewhere, and he missed the game winner last year somewhere.
Good
and,
Lord.
And I cannot believe they just shut it down at 47 yards. So
Well,
for
that wasn't
a
a good
mediocre
pass.
kicker, that's not
Yeah.
high enough percentage for me. I need to get it inside 40 yards.
Well, good for him. Good for that guy to get that confidence. Good ACC win there. Fitz, did you get any? Did you get to watch this game or no?
Yeah, we watched most of this game. I was kind of with you, though, at the end. I was, like, tired from a long weekend, starting to fade a little bit. But, yeah, I was impressed with Miami. I was impressed with Notre Dame coming back, scoring 17 in the fourth to make it close. But, yeah, I was happy the Canes got it done.
This Duke is just shouting in the middle of Fitz's conversation.
If Gray
hey,
did that,
another round.
imagine if Gray did that.
I didn't yell to the
Family,
microphone.
another
I put the
round.
microphone down. The audience didn't even know what I just did. Fitz, if I distract you, I'm sorry. Not
No, you did
professional.
not.
Would you like a drink?
Oh, man.
No, I'm good.
Okay.
All right, great recap of week one. Let's get into week two. The reason we don't do week one is because it's Labor Day weekend. We're all out of town. And we want to see the teams first. We want to see how they play. And so now we kind of have a good grasp on coaching, the new coaches, the new transfers. In week two, we're going to get into some bets here. We have a different type of podcast this year in our year 3 for us, guys. Year 3, we made it.
Yeah, we
So
made
we're
We made it, baby.
This podcast
it's
successful.
As
Cut
I
that.
spill.
Cut that.
Yeah,
Clip that.
cut that as I knock down my whole phone and everything. All right, so let's get into this new segment that we're going to do. We're actually just going to pick 5 games. All of us are going to pick the same games instead of spreading it out, so we can kind of brag when we're right and the other person's wrong. The first game we're going to talk about is College Game Day, where they're going, College Game Day. So that would be number 14 Michigan at number 18 Oklahoma. The spread that we locked in is -5.5 Oklahoma. It has moved to -4.5, but we're going to stick with 5.5. And I'll start with Fitz. Picking from this game, who do you have, Michigan or Oklahoma, with the spread?
I'm going to go with the Sooners.
Sooners
They're
at
laying 5.5.
-5.5. Yes.
I'm definitely going to bet the first half line. I think that's a field goal. I think this is Underwood looked good. Michigan's freshman, the kid getting paid like $12 million or whatever. I made that number up. I have no idea, but he's making a lot of money from Portnoy and the Oracle owner. But this is a true road test for him. I think it might be a little too much. So give me the Sooners, the Venables.
I'm with you. I'm going to take the Sooners. I believe Michigan kind of struggled against, was it New Mexico? New Mexico or New Mexico State? I mean, it was New Mexico. New Mexico scored 17 points against Michigan's defense. I don't know if that was, Michigan's just looking forward to Oklahoma and they're just going through the motions. But I think Michigan's defense is the key to Michigan winning the Big Ten. And New Mexico is, on paper, not good at all. And for a moment there, it was like, New Mexico, is this going to be another Appalachian State first Michigan? But Michigan squeaked it out. Not squeaked it out, but 34-17. He thought it would be more like a 50-7 route. But Underwood 21 for 31, 250 yards and a touchdown. That's decent numbers against New Mexico. Let's see how he does against the Sooners, who have one of the best defenses in the country. In Oklahoma, I'm taking Oklahoma in the points. I just always never been really high on Michigan, to be honest, and I'm going to fade them.
Underwood's deal is $12 million over 4 years.
Are you serious?
Yep.
Did you not hear that at all?
I mean, I knew it was it was incepted in my brain somehow, but I wasn't 100% sure.
Shout out to Leonardo DiCaprio. Inception. You don't know that movie?
I do know that movie. It's a top 10 movie of all time,
said
and I
Inception?
still don't understand it.
Still don't know. Did it?
I'll watch it
Did
with
it
you and
stop spinning?
I'll explain it to you.
Did it stop spinning?
No, he's still in the fourth cycle.
No one knows.
Okay.
No one knows. What about you? Who you taking? Please
So-
tell me you're on the side so I can make fun of you.
Yeah, I'm gonna fade y'all just to be contrarian. Honestly, this is the only ranked versus ranked game of the weekend, and I honestly could have less interest in it. Like,
Wow.
neither one of these teams matter to me. Like, I think I'm slightly bullish on Oklahoma win total for the season. I don't care about Michigan at all. I don't think either team will factor into their conference. So there's other games I'm gonna watch, but. If you make me pick it, because I don't really care, I'll take the points. Give me 5.5 and Michigan to keep it close. Could be wrong.
This isn't JMU Louisville, so he doesn't care about this.
Yeah,
game.
no,
Exactly.
he's a G5 guy. He's a G5 guy. We'll be getting there. The second game, we're going to talk about just, the best game of the week other than College Game Day. And it's kind of biased because we pick it, and I think it's Baylor at number 16 SMU.
This one I care about.
SMU is -3, is at a noon on Saturday. For what it's worth, Michigan, Oklahoma are at 7:30 at night. That should be a fun bar game.
Yeah.
For the people that care. Baylor, tough loss to Auburn last week. SMU, I don't even know. They played some East Texas A&M. I don't even know if that's a real school.
is. Yeah,
But for me, I'm going to be on SMU -3. I think a lot of people want to fade SMU here and are taking Baylor just because. Thank you, Emily. Sorry the Duke was so rude. I'm going to be on SMU here. I think Jennings is a really good quarterback. People are kind of hating on him because of how he ended up in the playoffs last year. But Baylor's secondary might be one of the worst secondaries in the country. Go watch them last year, and it's not any better. I mean, they picked up a couple transfers in the portal that I'm not really fond of, and it showed. And Auburn torched them. They could do whatever they want. They ran on them. Baylor was running sets on them or formations on defense just to beg them to run because they were so scared that Auburn was going to throw on them. That's how bad their secondary is. I think Jennings is going to torch them, and SMU is going to win this game 10 plus, in my opinion. Denny?
I'm going to fade you again. So my whole thought process here is I think Auburn's a little better than people think they're going to be. Baylor went blow for blow with them last week. Jackson Arnold made a lot of plays with his feet, Outside of that, I don't think Auburn even wins the game, but I think Auburn's better than you think, and so I think the hanging with Baylor is better than anybody SMU's played ever. SMU played the softest schedule last year and this year too. I think SMU were frauds last year. They got proven that in the playoff. So yeah, give me Baylor. You know what? Give me the money line. I don't even need your 3 points.
Ooh. The only reason
I'll take it for this
Okay.
pod.
The only reason Arnold used his feet is because they gave him it. Okay. That's what I was trying to say. Like they were so scared of him
That's
throwing all over them. They were like,
Yeah.
"We're gonna let you just run."
That's
I
fair.
will agree with this. That I think Baylor's offense is really good. So I think I'll
So
take
you like
the
the
over.
over.
The over.
Do you know what the over is?
I think it's 6. I think it went down to 64.5, and I'd still take it.
That's massive. Yeah. Oh, of
yeah.
course
I
we're taking it.
still take it.
Yeah.
3 bets for the over.
I'm dead. I almost took it as my lock of the week, and then, like you said, I was like, "That's a lot to be a lock," but I'm still going to bet that. I think the over is a win for sure.
2 top 10 teams in tempo, so
Yeah.
Yeah.
you're never dead.
Yeah.
They can put up points quick. I'm with you though, Gray. I think SMU covers this easily. I was wondering if I see it 2.5, but I'm fine with 3. I think they. I
It
think
did
they
move to
beat-
2.5,
They're at
but,
home.
yeah.
I think they beat Baylor easily. I think Baylor didn't look particularly good. I don't think Auburn's particularly good either. So I kind of disagree with Denny there that Baylor didn't show me anything. And let's not
That's a field goal.
disparage East Texas A&M. Okay, that is a program on the rise in SMU.
What city is
Handled
it?
them.
What city is it in?
They're in.
Name any city in East Texas.
They got to be in College. Are they in College Station too? I have no idea what that is.
I don't even know one city in East Texas.
Where's Waco?
I don't know.
Everyone's just looking at
I
me.
don't know.
Central.
But yeah, give me Give me SMU.
Yeah, I'm with you. Let's ride, Fitz. SMU did give up 13 points to East Texas, so
Again,
that
on the
makes
rise.
the over even more. I love the over here. Yeah, I might have rushed on SMU being by 10 or more. I think it'll be a lot closer than that, but I love the over, and I'm going to still take SMU. Definitely will bet -2.5. I love if it's -2.5. I love that. SMU wins by a field goal. Love it. All right, our third one, we do take the G5 game of the week, and that could be any G5 team. And for this week, we have to go with South Florida as the best G5 team as of right now after the beatdown on number 25 Boise State 34-7. Now they go into the swamp. Do you know where they play next week? They have the hardest schedule in
They got Miami
they
soon?
got Miami
Oh,
next
that's
week.
tough.
So they go Boise State, Florida, and then at Miami. If they're not going to go 3-0, but if they did, I mean, sure. I mean, maybe a shoe-in for the number 12 seed.
I mean, they would be in the driver's seat for sure.
But they are 17.5-point dogs. So we're asking the question, can they cover in the swamp? And I'll tell you what, they looked really, really good against Boise State. And Boise State is not the team they were last year, right? Ashton Genty's not walking through the door, but they're still a good G5 program and like a top 5 G5 team. And South Florida wiped the floor with them like – it was start to finish unreal. So South Florida, can they cover this 17.5? Who do y'all have here? Let's start with Fitz.
I have the Bulls.
Ooh.
Give me South Florida to cover 17.5. I think the Gators win, obviously at home, but I think they can keep it within 17 points. Yeah, I was really impressed with that win against Boise State, so I'm going to rock with them.
Yeah, I mean, ride the team when they're hot. That's a lot of points, too. Like, a lot of points. And South Florida's used to that heat, too. Denny, what do you got here?
Yeah, I'm going to go with the Bulls as well. Obviously, great performance last week. Probably one of the better performances last week. And I've got Florida over tickets, win total. I've got Lagway, Heisman tickets, and I've got Florida playoff tickets. So I like the Gators. I'm just not sure they're good enough to beat this team by 17.5. So honestly, though, 17.5 is exactly the number I needed. If you didn't tell me the spread, I wouldn't have taken.
Win by 17.
Yeah, I would say 17.5 is the perfect spread, and give me the Bulls.
Vegas is so good.
I feel like these games when they're playing other kids that they went to high school against and played against, and like they didn't get recruited maybe against or
That's a good
at
point,
Miami,
Fitz.
at Florida. I feel like they get it for these like interstate games.
Yeah, 100%.
Man, maybe I want to change my pick after that.
Okay.
After that comment.
No, fade us. I want to.
I am going to have
fade you
to
on
fade you
every
because
pick.
I did say Florida. I think South Florida is going to come in here. We just beat Boise State, and I just think Florida is another level. I think it is Florida wins by 3 touchdowns, so the spread should be around 20. So I'm going to take the Gators in the swamp. I think they're really good. They got a quarterback in Lagway. Their defense, especially at home, is one of the best in the country. One of the best home field advantages you'll see. I just think South Florida, I think, might come in here and be like, we need to walk away from this game without any injuries because we can win the frickin' American and make a run at the college football playoffs. Let's just get out of here with a 20-point loss. Might be what they're thinking.
Yeah,
Loser talk.
that's a
So,
decent
We got to
narrative.
get to the swamp. Chris McCracken. Let's rent an RV with McCracken. Go down there.
Ooh.
That would be.
Is that the first
That'd be a
McCracken
hell of a
reference
time.
on this pod?
Might
If
be.
it is,
Can you
that's a
tag him?
shame.
Can you
That's a
tag
true
him in all the
thing.
socials? Okay.
Do it. I'm gonna take the Gators. Is he a Gators fan?
Big Gators
Okay,
fan.
so I'm right with you, McCracken. Go Gators. All right, here we go. Next one is the best out-of-conference grudge match game, and it's a rivalry game. Big 10, Big 12. We got Iowa taking on Iowa State. This is a cool game. Noon. Iowa State is -3, coming off a Kansas State win. This game, I don't know what the over/under is, but always is just
6.5.
Just defense. Denny, do you have the Cyclones covering the 3?
This is a tough one, man, because you know traveling back from Ireland, there's probably a bit of a hangover there. But they look pretty good against Kansas State.
Well, they had a game last week.
I
and
did,
they
yeah.
absolutely
it's
rolled.
a 10-day,
I will,
10-day
but
layover.
South Dakota scored first, so
Yeah.
they were hungover a little bit.
In a grudge match game like this, you expect it to be close. When I first looked at the line, I thought it was 3.5. I was going to lean Iowa, but at 3 exactly, I think give me the Cyclones.
Let's go. We're back.
Yeah.
Okay. We're back. I'm with you. Yeah. Iowa State, Big 12 champions. They're going to win by 6 points here.
Okay. That's
2
fair.
field goals.
Yeah, it's going to be 12-6.
12-6. Perfect.
South Dakota did score first, and then Iowa State scored 55 unanswered.
Yeah.
So.
Wasn't it like, was it 70s? No, that was USC scored 70.
They had like a perfect. Rocco Beck looked great.
Yeah.
I do like the Cyclones a lot. Rivalry game, though, I'm going to go with Iowa. I do see it at 3.5. For this purpose, I'll still take the 3, but I'm definitely going to bet 3 and a hook. I think it comes down to a field
goal. Get
Get
that hook. I'm with you. I think if it was a hook, I'm definitely like staying off this game. But for the purpose of the podcast, I will take Iowa State. If it is the hook, it's,
Make sure you tag Kent Hollybar in this game as well.
There you go. Shout out, Kent.
What's up, Kent?
Go Hawkeyes.
This is Brock Purdy versus George Kittle.
He's getting married soon to my sister.
That's right.
Shout out. All right. The last game that we're going to do here on this pod. Look at Michael Irvin. He's sweating. He's just crying. He is jacked, and he is actually pretty funny. But anyways.
He looks cocaine thin.
Anyways, the last game we do here is our trash game of the week. We find 2 teams that no one really talks about that should just be a fun game, and it is UConn at Syracuse, both coming off victories. Syracuse lost. I think it's a victory because they put up 24 against Tennessee. I think Tennessee is so overrated this year, and I just think the market is reacting to that, and Syracuse is -7, and I love UConn straight up to go in and beat the Qs. So I will definitely take the points. 7, but I think UConn walks away with a win.
Wow.
This is a full fade on Syracuse because I bet Syracuse under 3.5 wins, I think, this year. Okay. Under 4.5 wins was one of my favorite bets this year. I think they are trash.
Okay.
And people are like, they put up 20. They almost beat Tennessee, blah, blah, blah. Kent was like, I'm going to bet Syracuse. I was like, that's a mistake.
You didn't tell him that, though. You said go ahead.
Yeah, I did. So go ahead. Oh, I didn't say anything at all.
Yeah. With your silence, spit volumes.
Denny said, go ahead. I'm going to stay out of it. I just
was
didn't
me.
text him back because I thought it was dumb. Should I say it?
And because you're bad at texting.
Yeah.
I am bad at texting. I am. All right. Why are you saying, What? Were you watching the TV or are you saying bad pick?
No, I just think like picking UConn money line is
Well, I
ballsy.
said I'm going to take the points.
Yeah.
But
So yeah, I mean I actually liked the Syracuse bet last week. I didn't bet it, but I favored Kent's bet. I was kind of down on Tennessee. Tennessee's offense looked pretty good. Nico's gone. Maybe that's a good thing. I don't know, but so I am, because they lost by 20 points or so. I'm doing the opposite as you. I'm taking Syracuse in the -7. I think they ran into a buzzsaw last week, and I don't think they're as bad as you think they are, but I guess we'll see. So give me Syracuse -7.
Man, we have 4 different games. Should we do a little side bet here?
Yes.
Let's bring it.
Yes. I'm definitely texting
where
both
can
of
we
y'all.
watch these games?
I recommend this place in Scotts Mission called Parlay. It's a great layout for college football. They garage doors open, game sound pumping in.
We're at Georgia Bar now.
Orange crushes just flowing.
Dogs. Go Dogs.
Yeah.
All right, Fitz, who you got here?
Yeah, I'm going to rock with you.
Me and Fitz are on
Huskies.
the same level to that.
They played this game last year.
People forget.
Huskies hung in there. They lost by 7 at Syracuse. So
It's a push.
I'm
dude.
with Greg. I think they could win this one outright. Jim Mora, I'll have the boys ready.
I do love Jim Mora.
Yeah,
I
good
love
coach.
great.
Yeah, good coach.
I love Jim Mora.
They're coming off a huge win against Central Connecticut. Never an easy game.
It's put up 45 against them.
The battle for the
put up
state of
59
the
against
battle for the state of
59?
Yeah, they
Connecticut.
beat them by 46.
I must have turned it off when it was 45.
They call it the Connecticut Cup, or is there a name for this game?
I don't know.
The
They're
Connecticut.
big in the Northeast.
Loser, go home.
Give me the Huskies.
Okay.
Give them the Huskies. All right, so that's kind of how our segment's going to go this year. Is we're gonna find those 5 games. We're each going to pick them, and it's better than spreading it out, and we can have side bets. I like it, but we are bringing back our Super Dog segment, which Game Day does, and I actually do like this a lot. It is who is your dog of the week? What underdog spread do you love? So if your Super Dog covers, you get 5 points. If they win outright, you get the 5 points plus whatever they covered by, and then 1 point for a push. 0 points if they don't cover. Fitz, who are you riding with for your super dog pick this week?
Give me Billy O'Brien and the Golden Eagles of Boston College, getting 4.5. I think they're playing at. I can't remember.
It says you put versus Sparty. I don't know where they're playing.
Are they at Michigan State? Check with our producer.
They're at Michigan State because they beat them at Boston College last year. This is the exact same line for the home team. Sparty covered by a half point, so I'm going to go with Boston College to do the same.
All right, Boston College plus 4.5 against Michigan State. For me, you know where I'm going because I think they can win outright. And if you think they can win outright, you get a lot of points. So UConn plus 7, a big fade on Syracuse this year. And then for Denny, who is your super dog?
I already talked about these guys. Give me the Baylor Bears plus 2.5 against these SMU frauds.
Okay.
I cannot wait.
SMU frauds.
I cannot wait to mush this in y'all's face. This is the one I'll text you about this weekend.
This is a wrong.
Yeah, Baylor's going to win by 12.
No.
All right, so we got Baylor plus 2.5 for Denny, UConn plus 7 for me, Fitz, Boston College plus 4.5. All right, and the last one is our We Riding segment. It is our lock of the week. This is, if you want to fast forward a podcast, which you shouldn't, and you just want to get the locks, this is where we lock in and give you our best pick, where we throw our biggest units on. And for me, I will start it. And we haven't talked about this team yet. I love Cincinnati minus 20.5. And I think it's 21.5 right now. And I think you need to get it at 20.5. So if you need to do alternate spread, do it. It's still worth it. Sorsby only threw for 69 yards last week. I know. But that was Nebraska. Nebraska has a good defense. Sorsby's more of a runner. He did have 100 yards rushing against Nebraska. I think this is where he's going to let loose against a horrible Bowling Green team. I love Eddie George. Congratulate Eddie George, new head coach at Bowling Green. But Bowling Green played Lafayette. Can you name anyone that graduated from Lafayette? Exactly. They had Bowling Green had a total of 268 yards against Lafayette of total offense. Could not get the ball moving on the ground. Guess what Cincinnati did well last week? Their defense absolutely stuffed Nebraska's run game. Their defense was unreal, keeping Nebraska to 20 points. Cincinnati could have easily won that game. It was 2017. I think Cincinnati comes in here, wins by more than 3 touchdowns. It is my lock of the week, and I feel really good about Cincinnati minus 20.5. Denny, who is your lock of the week?
For what it's worth, I actually like the Cincinnati pick.
Thank you.
So, yeah, that's the only thing I agree with you with today, I believe. So, my lock of the week is Miami, Ohio. Rutgers over 45.5. Rutgers last week gave up 31 points to Ohio. Shiano's defense did not look like a Shiano defense. Miami, Ohio's quarterback is not too bad for a MAC quarterback. I think these teams will play at a pretty decent pace and will cover that number handily.
I think, can I disagree with you?
Yeah.
I think that's the worst pick of the year.
Miami Rutgers?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Fair enough.
Miami, Ohio scored 0 points last week.
Okay.
I think they have one of the worst offenses in the country.
Okay.
And I think Shiano fixes their defense this week, where I would take Miami, Ohio to score maybe 10 points. That means Rutgers has to score, 30? Do you believe in
They
Rutgers?
scored 34 last week.
I think Miami's defense is pretty good. They only let up 17 against Wisconsin.
Okay.
So that's why I'm questioning, maybe you did not, maybe you didn't take this podcast seriously.
Maybe you might be wrong. Have you thought about that?
Look how mad he is.
Dear God, I hope they cover. Dear God.
So
Dear God.
I'm calling.
Yeah.
I'm
Okay.
calling the under on that.
Okay.
And I love that we're fighting on
Let's
this podcast.
bet.
but I
Let's bet a
still love
kidney.
I
Are
still
you willing
love
to bet a kidney?
I'm not going to bet a kidney.
Okay.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
It's 45.5 points.
Yeah, no,
Okay.
it's not a
All
lot.
right. Okay.
But I also think this game might be
10-7.
20-10.
Okay. Dear God. All right, that's the game I'm watching.
That's a game to watch.
I'm not
Here
watching
we go.
Michigan, Oklahoma.
Here
I'm
we
watching
go.
this game. Okay.
Yeah, I can't wait to watch
See,
Miami.
I'm gonna be
Ohio Rutgers.
I'm gonna be going to the game tripping players on the sideline.
This is Duke's lock. Look at him! Look at him! Look at him! He doesn't know what.
He
I
absolutely
cannot
hates the
believe he hates my lock that much.
Yeah, that's tough.
Okay.
I don't like your lock. All right,
Flies him in the
Fitz,
air.
I'm
go
gonna kill
ahead.
this fly. Yeah, Gray, I just disagree with you about that being the worst pick ever because Duke already made the worst pick ever, and it was Baylor.
Let's go.
My lock of the week is SMU.
Woo!
-2.5 versus Baylor.
God, the Baylor Bears.
For the reasons I stated earlier, I just wasn't impressed with Baylor. And again, East Texas A&M.
Dorothy
Put some
Mantooth is a
respect on their
saint.
name. And we got to sprinkle that over. 65.5, I think, is where
Yeah,
I see it right now.
let's do it.
Also, Joe Madden, notable alumni from Lafayette, former Major League Baseball manager Joe
Okay,
Madden.
he proved me wrong. He named something
He
from
spent the last
Lafayette.
30 minutes Googling that.
I know
Yep.
he did.
I had to scroll down quite a bit to find him.
Well done. Well done. All right, so locks of the week to end it. Cincinnati is mine, -20.5, which Duke liked. Duke's taking Miami, Ohio, Rutgers over 45.5.
Which grade did not like?
Which you should save your money and don't bet that lock. And then Fitz, which I like because I'm with them here, SMU -2.5 against Baylor. That is going to be it for our college football week. First week of season 3 of Graybo's Giblets. Leave us a 5-star review. We're going to do some giveaways this year, fellas, for people that leave us 5 stars or a review on YouTube.
I like that.
We're on YouTube now.
We're on YouTube.
No big deal.
What are we
Shout out
giving away?
Elena.
I don't know. I think I'm going to give away like
Signed
a,
ball,
like a
signed
signed
jerseys?
football, a signed
Yeah.
jersey.
Yeah.
Because we are a card shop. We got some cool memorabilia. So if you just leave a review, it has to be 5 stars. Or you just, give us a shout out on YouTube or shout out wherever. We would love that. You guys have anything to add before we get out of here?
The reviews for this episode will just be the host confused me because we disagreed on every pick. And so no one knows what to do with what we just said.
Well,
That's great because then we can do a poll. Like, who do you feel more comfortable with going with? Denny.
We'll keep these stats, so you'll find out.
Denny or myself. We do keep these stats.
hey,
we will give you
Gray, men lie, women lie, but numbers don't.
Okay.
Okay, that makes no sense, but all right, we'll run with it.
That makes some sense.
All right, we love you guys. We'll see you later. Graybo's Giblets.
Giblets.
Out.